Nick, just what kind of led to the struggles with C.J. McCollum? This is kind of from the jump.
Pardon me?
Just what led to the struggles with C.J. McCollum? He had a huge game for
he had 23. His first 23, 15 of them were in transition. Right? We did know that that's what he's trying to do: get out early and try to score early in the sets. But we just didn't do a good enough job of either matching up. Matching up usually was okay, but our secondary defenders weren't quite in the gaps and things like that, providing the help. Game was moving pretty fast for us as well. Like we were just behind on some of that, and then he kind of got cooking and didn't help either. I always think he makes 3 free throws early in the game. That kind of always lets a guy feel some rhythm and he had a really good game. We were able to make a few adjustments on him there for a stretch, and then he kind of got going again. But he just seemed the ball kept seeming to find him, and when he was guarded, he was making some good one-on-one moves and scoring the ball. He was obviously hard to handle.
And then Alvarado there in the second half seemed like he was in the paint pretty consistently.
Yeah.
What do you see defensively there?
Yeah, we struggled a little bit in the mid pick and roll defense. Kind of did all week this week, right? Again, just first of all, getting into the screens, getting the schemes right, being able to guard it down and provide enough help and pull in from the weak side. All the things, it's a 5-man job to guard the screen and roll, but a lot of it at the point of attack wasn't good either. And that's just, again, I just thought they were doing a good job of moving a half step faster than we were most of the night. Yeah.
Nick, you guys obviously had a good month of December where it felt like you got some good wins,
Yep.
got back on track.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you guys have kind of given that progress back with how you've played since the start of the year?
Well, I think this week we had two games where I don't think we played as well as we needed to, or certainly as well as we were in December, right? Again, we're a little thin. I'm a little worried about the starters. Pretty much played them even, right? I'm a little worried. Those guys are logging a lot of minutes and a lot of assignments, right? And it just trying to get them some breaks here and there. Again, it just seemed to me like we just didn't have quite the pop energy wise that we needed, for the full game.
Kind of the critical stretch in the middle or the start of the fourth quarter with Daniel Tice in the game, and it kind of felt he got a lot of work done, but you guys were a little smaller. What did you see there?
Yeah, I mean, I just felt that Yabu just looked like he needed a break, and just wanted to try to do something different so we could switch the screen and rolls, which we were having trouble with. Again, he did. He got some big, made some big plays. Got behind, got some rebounds, all that kind of stuff. We fouled him a few times, rebounding, 2 or 3 times as well. That kept giving them a new possession back. So it wasn't great, that segment, but I was just trying to do something a little different. Yeah.
Were you at least encouraged by what Paul was able to do in the second half?
Yeah, for sure. It's good to see him, making all those shots he was making in the second half. What did he have at half? A couple of points. Yeah, 23 in the second half. And again, just getting them and creating them, and then us finding him as well in situations. And again, I thought he made some decent reads too. He drove it in there a few times and got it out as well. He 11 boards and 5 assists too, so it's a pretty good game for him, especially considering how the first half went.
It didn't end up being a problem for the second half, but he had 3 fouls in the first half, and that's been more of an issue for him recently. Is there anything you're seeing there specifically that you think is leading to that issue?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think, again, I said this last time, I think that some of them are incredibly light. He's just trying to wedge through some screens like this second one there, I don't know. That's going on a lot during the games. I gotta look at those tonight. I thought he gambled on quite a few out of bounds plays and stuff. He got a piece of some of them, and I could see why he was just trying to make something happen. I think he got caught on 1 or 2 of those too, where he got called for a foul. So I do need to look at him, and we do need to just make sure that he's not. Again, we don't want to get put in that situation where he's got 3 in the first half and we got to sit him. All right, thanks everybody.
Paul, I guess what led to the struggles with CJ McCollum tonight?
I don't know. He got loose, and I thought some miscommunication a little bit on our behalf, and then they played a little fast. Seems to be kind of the case. Teams want to find rhythm. They play a little faster against us because half-court defense, we're pretty solid. And I think, that was just the key. He got a couple of them to go down early, and long game from there.
You got going in the second half with your shot just offensively. It's like, I guess what was the difference between the start of the game and what you're able to do after halftime?
It's just I took it slow. Still looking for my shots, but I just took it slow. Let the game come to me. And, when I had the ball, I was just looking to be aggressive. And I found something with just my rhythm and timing. That was it.
Well, y'all had a stretch where y'all won 10 out of 13 games, and now you lost your last 4 out of 6. What do you think the biggest difference has been for y'all? Is it just as simple as Joel playing, not playing? I mean, what do you think the biggest difference has been?
We're definitely better with Joel out there. That's a fact. We're better with the big guy back, in the lineup with us. But, I think through it all, we've had some, I think KO missed a game or two in that, and Kyle has been in and out. Like we've had a lot of guys in and out of the lineups during that stretch. But I think we just it comes down to us just playing a little faster. We gotta play at a faster pace. I think we're getting in trouble playing in a slow style in a half-court set. I know Nick is definitely preaching for us to get up the ball faster, play faster, run a little bit more, and that's on us. I think going forward is what we kind of got to do.
For a while, like when you guys were going through your rut early on, everybody was saying it's still early. But now it's 36 games into the season. Is it not panic mode, but is it one of those things where it's a real sense of urgency now because this thing could go left?
Yeah. It definitely is not, again, like you said, it's not panic mode, but there's sort of a desperation that we need to start to play with and look at every game like matters. At this point forward, every game matters. And so I think we do have to approach it in that matter, because it's not going to get any easier. We lost tonight. Not going to discredit, how they played tonight, but a team we should have beat. And again, we got New York coming in, we got Oklahoma coming in. It's not going to get any easier. And so, we got to, put teams like this away early. And that's kind of the team we got to be. We want to compete and be one of the teams standing in the end. These are the games that, we put teams away early.
Nick used you as the de facto 5 in one of the lineups in the fourth quarter, I guess. For you, what is that like when you're not used to playing that position?
It's different. I'm used to scrapping and running around and chasing and fighting through screens, and to be honest, I'm bored. Playing and on a 5, just don't do enough for me. But I think being mindful of my ability to clog the middle and kind of help and cut off passing lanes and driving lanes and kind of battle with the bigs, is what Nick sees in that style. But again, I enjoy chasing the little guys and matching up against wing defender or wing offensive players.
Ended up in foul trouble in the first half tonight, which has been a little bit of a recurring thing recently, and has not been a thing that's happened to you often throughout your career. I guess, is there anything you think has led to that specifically, or just, kind of random?
NBA. Couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell you that, especially what goes on the other end. And I'm the one that seems to be in foul trouble. So I couldn't tell you that.
Those defensive communications that you talked about, what do you think goes into that in terms of solving it? Is it just a matter of time and getting more acquainted with guys?
Yeah, it's just talking more. We just talking more. I think talking is always a subject that comes up in teams, especially early on. Obviously, if we've been together for a long time, you kind of just know where guys are going to be, and rotations, coverages. But I think, for, again, this being our first year together, I mean, the communicating aspect of it is fairly new to this group, of talking and making sure we know what's going on, who's switching, who's supposed to be in this spot. So I think we just got to continue to grow from that aspect. But that's just really what it comes down to when it's a miscommunication on the floor.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
What do you think went wrong defensively in the second half?
I'd just say communication and following game plan. I mean, I have to go back and watch to see specifics, but just overall communication and togetherness as five, as a unit.
I'll mention communication too. Do you mean like the terminology, like everyone not knowing the terminology yet, or is it like people talking inconsistently?
I would just say talking consistently. Like even times we got stops, we got lucky on a couple of possessions. Just got to clean it up. I think it's an easy fix. Just got to stay together and keep working on it.
How hard is it as a team to not let offensive struggles affect your defense?
Oh, it's definitely hard. I mean, at all levels of basketball, a lot of people's offense gets their defense going. So when your offense isn't going and we're struggling on defense as well, just got to find some type of energy to bring us to life. So that was kind of the problem tonight, but I know we're going to fix it, so I'm not really too worried about it.
You did have some success there in the first half. I guess what did you see? What led to that?
One more time.
You did have some success individually in the first half. Just what led to that?
Just my hunger to continue to prove myself. Still not getting out there consistently like I would like to, so every time I step out there, I just got to prove myself.
You have a pretty high foul rate. Like, you get fouled a lot as for someone who's your age. I guess, is that something that you talk to Tyrese about, considering he often does not get the call that he thinks he deserves?
I do talk to him about it, and I've showed him something a month or two ago, and he'll get better with it. He does get fouled a lot, and sometimes he may not get fouled and thinks he should have got fouled. So at the end of the day, he's got to get back and keep playing, and then talk to the rest about it. And I talk to him about that as well. I mean, just got to keep going.
What do you tell him? If you can...
I just feel like he's so fast. It's hard to tell for the rest at time. And you also, like, not flop, but you have to sell it a little more. Like, you got fouled, now let them know you got fouled. Throw your head back just a little bit. Act like you got, not act like, if you got pushed off a little bit, exaggerate a little more. Just little things like that. But he'll be fine.
You move pretty fast with the ball in your hands. Is that something you had to learn?
No. I just had to learn to make smart decisions when I do have it. I've been pretty good in open court this year. Just gotta continue to be smarter. And I felt like overall my game was just real smart today, getting in the lane, playing off two, just trying to make smart decisions.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for